Hello, everyone, and welcome to Easy Spanish with Ed. Many of you probably took a Spanish class or two at some point in school, but never really used it. I know that was my story at one point. So if you did, you may remember some, but we're still going to start from the very beginning. Nouns and verbs. In Spanish, all nouns are masculine or feminine. Nouns that are masculine will use the article el, while feminine nouns will use the article la. Masculine nouns typically end in O, and feminine ones typically in A, but, of course, there are some exceptions, and we'll talk about some of those later. For now, let's look at some examples of some Spanish nouns. Apple, la manzana. The prefix, or called the article, is la, and the word ends in A, so right away, you know it's a feminine noun. La manzana. Most of you have probably heard the saying, mi casa es su casa. House, la casa. La casa. Book, el libro. El libro. The prefix is el, and it ends in o, so right away, you know it's a masculine noun. Dress, el vestido. El vestido. Now is a good time to point out two things. Whether a noun is classified as masculine or feminine has nothing to do with the object itself. As you can see, the word for dress is a masculine noun according to the rules of Spanish. But a dress is traditionally considered to be a feminine item. Let me also say a word about pronunciation. You'll often hear the letter V pronounced like a B in English. So you'll hear this word pronounced vestido, not vestido. Vestido, not vestido. It's important to note the difference in pronunciation. So remember I said that you could tell whether a word was masculine or feminine by whether it ends in O or A? Well, that's just a general rule. Once you become more immersed in the language, you'll get a feel for the exceptions. But one common exception is for words that end in M-A. Right away, you would look at the item and think it's a feminine noun because it ends in A, but many are not. Let's look at a few examples. The word for weather is el clima. El clima. And although it ends in A, it is a masculine noun. Another example is the word for program, el programa. El programa. Subject, el tema. El tema. And on the flip side, you have the word for hand, which is la mano. It ends in O, but it's a feminine noun. La mano. La foto. Now let's talk about verbs in Spanish. In Spanish, all verbs end in either AR, ER, or IR. Let's start off with an AR verb. Hablar, to speak or to talk. Hablar. By the way, H is always silent in Spanish. Think about how we say the words honor or hour in English. Those H's are silent. It's always like that in Spanish. So let's take a look at the conjugation for the verb hablar. Take a look at this chart. Right away, you'll notice that there is an informal way to say you and a formal way. In Spanish-speaking countries, they use the tú conjugation when speaking with someone they're familiar with, a family member, a friend or peer, or with someone around the same age or younger. They use usted as a sign of respect. When speaking with someone you don't know, someone who is older, or for people in certain positions. For example, they might address their boss at work using the usted conjugation, or if you're at a doctor's office, you'd probably address your doctor in that way. So in English we have I. The corresponding pronoun in Spanish is yo. And the first person conjugation would be hablo. Yo hablo. I speak. You, and this is the informal you. Tú hablas. You speak. Tú hablas. The pronoun for he is él. For she is ella. And then for you formal again is usted. They all have the same conjugation. So it would be él habla, ella habla, usted habla. He speaks, she speaks, you speak. This is also for it speaks. We, nosotros, hablamos. We speak. Nosotros hablamos. The plural form of you, vosotros, is only used in Spain. Vosotros habláis. You speak, you all speak. They, ellos or ellas. Ellos is for a group of men or a mixed group of men and women, or a mixed group of boys and girls. They will be referred to as ellos. Ellas if it's only a group of girls or only a group of women. Ellos hablan or ellas hablan. They speak. And then the plural form of you that's used in Latin America is ustedes. Ustedes hablan. You speak or you all speak. And ustedes has the same conjugation as the ellos form. So let's have a quick recap of these conjugations. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. So how would you say, I speak Spanish? Yo hablo español. Yo hablo español. And so how would you say you speak Spanish? But this is the informal version of you. Tú hablas español. Tú hablas español. And how about he speaks Spanish? Él habla español. Él habla español. And you speak Spanish, but this time we're using the formal you. Usted habla español. Usted habla español. We speak Spanish. Nosotros hablamos español. Nosotros hablamos español. You all speak Spanish, but this time you're in Spain. Vosotros habláis español. Vosotros habláis español. They speak Spanish. Ellos hablan español. Ellos hablan español. You all speak Spanish, but this time you're somewhere in Latin America. Let's say you're in Mexico. Ustedes hablan español. Ustedes hablan español. Now, how would you say this in Spanish? Do you speak Spanish? ¿Tú hablas español? Well, in Spanish, it's really quite easy to form questions. Unlike in English, they don't use helper words like do or does to indicate a question, nor do they change the order of the words. If you're writing, you just add the question marks. They use an upside down one at the beginning, called an open question mark, and then a regular one at the end to close the question. And as you might have noticed, when speaking, you indicate a question by simply using the inflection in your voice. Listen to the difference here. Tú hablas español. That's a statement, an affirmation. Tú hablas español. But the question would be, ¿Tú hablas español? ¿Tú hablas español? Versus, ¿Tú hablas español? You hear the difference? And how would you ask this? Do they speak Spanish? ¿Ellos hablan español? ¿Ellos hablan español? Okay, we've covered a lot, so let's have a review. Once again, the verb conjugations in the simple present tense for an AR verb, in the yo form it ends in O, in the you informal form it ends in AS, in the he, she, it form, third person, ends in A, in the we form it ends in AMOS, the vosotros form used in Spain only, used in A, ends in AIES, with an accent mark or what's called a tilde over the A. And the they and the ustedes, the you formal form used in Latin America, they both end in AN. So it's hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, or hablan. Masculine nouns use the prefix el, and feminine nouns use the prefix la. Masculine nouns typically end in O, and feminine nouns typically end in A. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we'll talk more about nouns and verbs. We'll add in some adjectives and practice more sentences. Please don't forget to give me a like so that if you found this video at all helpful, give me a like so that YouTube will let this video be shown to more people. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified when I upload new lessons. See you in the next one. Ciao.